This question from the instructions we can figure out is a parajumble. Let's quickly read the sentences in the jumbled up order. Try to find a starting sentence or try to find links or mandatory pairs. Rather, borrowing again from Frankina, that means you borrowed before it. Let's see if that's there in the sequence. What they were trying to do was to distinguish moral judgments and principles from non-moral judgments and principles. What they were trying. All right. What we are asking to use Frankina's useful terminology, again Frankina. So we know one has to come after two, because borrowing again from Frankina. So the first time we have borrowed from Frankina, used Frankina's terminology is in two, is whether the judgment is moral as opposed to immoral. They wanted to know who is the they. Okay. They wanted to know how to determine whether a person's judgment was a moral judgment rather than some other kind of judgment, prudential, religious, aesthetic, or legal. But one point on which these philosophers were crystal clear is that moral truth is not what they were trying to explain. Now we know they refers to these philosophers, right? So now look at this. Moral, immoral, but they don't want to talk about the moral part. So I can say 2 and 4 go together. What we are asking is whether the judgment is moral as opposed to immoral. But one point on which these philosophers were crystal clear, moral truth is not what we are trying to explain. Rather, borrowing again from Frankina, what they were trying to do is to distinguish moral judgments and principles from non-moral judgments and principles, right? They wanted to know how to determine whether a person's judgment was a moral judgment rather than some other kind of judgment. So my correct order will be 2, 4, 1, 3. Clear? These, they and these refers to these philosophers. So start with we are trying, using her Frankina's terminology, we are trying to find out moral versus immoral. What they were trying to say is moral truth is not what we are after. What we are after, what they were trying to do is this. 2, 4, 1, 3. All right. Correct answer is 2, 4, 1, 3.